How's it going, everyone? Today I have some really big Disney Speedstorm news for you all. This is honestly coming as quite a shock to me as a longtime fan of the game. It seems like going forward in Disney Speedstorm, seasons are going to look a lot different than they have in the past, and I'm very interested to see how these changes turn out. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into the news and see what's coming and changing in Disney Speedstorm with the start of Season 13, which is of course going to be the big Hero 6 themed season. Here we go, looking at Disney Speedstorm's blog post. They said, "Greetings, Speedstars. We've heard your feedback about the length of seasons, and we know that many of you have asked for a faster rotation of content. Thus, we're making a change to update our structure to bring you new content more frequently." So already this sounds like a great start. For those who are unaware with the change of Disney Speedstorm seasons, basically a couple months back, they announced that seasons would alternate between 3 months and 2 months, which was a change from seasons previously all just being a set duration of 2 months long. So that means starting with our previous season that we had, which was themed to the Incredibles, it was going to be 3 months long. And obviously, we had a solid amount of racers. We had 5 Incredible characters as well as 2 mid-season characters. And then this season, which is Tron themed, is only 2 parts, only 2 months. And obviously we had less characters, still 2 mid-season characters, but only 4 seasonal racers, which is basically traditional. Pretty much all Disney Speedstorm seasons before the Incredibles were 2 months long, had about 4 to 5 racers and 2 mid-season racers. So Tron was pretty average, but they had to increase some of the seasons where we'd be getting 5 racers to 3 months, just so that way they'd have more time to develop characters. And honestly, this was a kind of a bad change because seasons being 3 months long is not super enjoyable. But obviously this is changing now, as they have said, moving forward, all seasons in Disney Speedstorm will have a standard duration of 2 months. With the shortened standard duration between seasons, all future seasons will now introduce 3 racers. This adjustment allows us to bring new content to you more frequently and keep the game dynamic. So there's the big blow. Obviously going back to 2-month seasons, I think is something we can all agree is a positive change. While 3-month seasons can be good just to give more time to a franchise that really deserves it and make sure you have a full 5 characters, like The Incredibles, is a massive franchise and I think is well deserving of a 3-month season. But other people who might not enjoy The Incredibles are going to have a really bad time for 3 months as opposed to 2 months. So going back to 2 months is a solid change, but the fact that we're now only getting 3 racers per season is kind of a big blow, I'm not gonna lie, especially knowing that in the past we have had 2-month seasons where we've gotten 5 racers. For example, the Frozen season, there's been a lot of them, the Lilo and Stitch season. There's just been a lot of seasons that have only lasted 2 months where we got 5 racers. So now the fact that moving forward we're going back to only 2-month seasons, but now we're getting less racers than we were before, does kind of hurt. But honestly, this is a change that I was expecting, as when they introduced the roadmap where we'd have 3-month-long seasons, I knew that Disney Speedstorm had bitten off more than they could chew, and developing 4 to 5 racers for the season as well as additional mid-season racers every 2 months, I'm sure is just too much for their development team, obviously, or else they wouldn't be making these changes. However, it is still really sad to see that the amount of new racers we're getting in Disney Speedstorm is going to slow down dramatically. Moving forward, they also said to prepare for the change, the current on-the-grid season inspired by Disney's Tron legacy will be extended by 1 additional week. This extra week will provide you with more time to complete missions, unlock rewards, and make the most of the current season's content. Changes coming to Season 13. Previously, we mentioned in our roadmap for Season 13 the following additions: 5 new racers, 2 mid-season racers, and 1 new race environment. The team adjusted some of the content being added to this update in order to bring a more optimal gaming experience and meet your expectations. Here is the content that will be added with Season 13. 3 new racers, 2 mid-season racers, 1 new race environment, and plus 2 existing epic racers, Belle and Elsa, added as a free season tour reward. This is very interesting. Honestly, the fact that the change is going into effect before the next season even hits is definitely not something I was expecting, and it now means that our Big Hero 6 season is only going to have 3 racers as opposed to the 5. Previously, we were all discussing, who was the member of the Big Hero 6 team that was going to be left out, because obviously there's 6 of them, we're getting 5 racers. It's probably just going to be that one of them are left out. But now that we're only getting 3 racers, I'm surprised if we're even going to get the background characters of the team at all. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a racing roster for Big Hero 6 that was just Baymax, Hero, and Yokai, and then the rest are just crew members. That would not surprise me whatsoever. I assume the 2 mid-season racers, whomever they may be, are going to be pretty much the same. And then obviously another interesting component of this is the fact that 2 existing epic racers added as a free season tour reward, Belle and Elsa. This is very good for newer players of the game. If you're a newer player who's just joining Disney Speedstorm, you haven't experienced all the seasons, this is awesome because now you're able to unlock some of these harder to obtain characters for free during the season, and now you have less characters to catch up on. But for any people who have been playing Disney Speedstorm since day one, this is really gonna suck because now you're getting shards for characters that you may already have maxed out. My Elsa and Belle have had max shards for so long, so I don't really need them. And it's an interesting change. I don't think it's necessarily bad. New racers, while they are very important to Disney Speedstorm, I also think it's important, and it's a very good thing that now every character is going to have voice acting again, which is something they confirmed in the Discord, and I know something people were really upset about for a long time. So the fact that now they're taking time to, make sure every season is 2 months, make sure the new racers we're getting are quality and hopefully not full of bugs like some previous racer releases have been, the fact that every character is going to have voice acting, and the fact that newer players and, people who might have skipped out on seasons or skipped out on unlocking certain racers are now going to have a chance to unlock previous racers for free, I think is a good thing. As long as they keep those existing epic racers rotating and, putting in good characters in there that a lot of people might not have unlocked. Maybe throw in some of the newer premium Golden Pass characters. I'm talking Vanilla P, Jack, Mrs. Incredible, just some of the newer characters, throw them in for free. I think that will definitely soften the blow of this change and just make it a lot better for people who play Disney Speedstorm. Continuing on though, we have player appreciation. We want to thank you for your support and dedication to the game by helping us keep improving it more every day with your feedback. As a token of appreciation to all the speedsters for your support through this update, each player will receive 10,000 upgrade coins and 15 universal box credits. These goodies will be sent to your in-game inbox on Season 13 launch day. Big fan of that. Very nice of them to give us compensation for this change. Not something they needed to do at all, but it is very nice of them, and they've been giving out a lot of these gifts recently, so I'm very happy that the team is doing that, and honestly it just feels good to get free rewards, so I really appreciate that from the Disney Speedstorm team. And then finally, other changes being added. Additionally, we are making some changes to the season tour and the way you'll be able to experience this game feature. The changes will focus on digressive level requirements to obtain the season tour racer. Week 1, players have the option to purchase a season tour racer included in the early access bundle. This option will always be available throughout the season. Week 2, players can access the season tour racer with harder requirements. Week 3, players can access the season tour racer tier 3 in the extra chapter with harder requirements. Week 4 and last, everyone will have the chance to grind and unlock season tour racer with easier requirements. Very interested to see what hard and easier requirements mean to the Disney Speedstorm team, but if we have it by week 4, pretty much everyone, as long as they have, like Mickey and Donald at like level 30, are able to unlock the season tour character. That would be awesome. I would absolutely love that, because now that we're only going to have 3 racers per season, I would not be surprised if the free racer is taken away, especially with the addition of 2 free epic racers, which honestly does kind of suck, and I really wish that Disney Speedstorm would let go of the idea of we need to have a paid character every month, because it is making it harder for new players to enjoy the game, and free-to-play players especially to enjoy the game, especially when they don't have access to another free character, which is probably what it's going to be. Like, yes, the 2 existing epic racers being added as free season tour rewards are great, but now that we're only going to have 3 characters per season and a 2-part season, 2 of them being locked behind golden pass parts, and then 1 of them being locked behind the season tour, and then just no free racer, I think that's the dynamic we're going to get moving forward. So very interesting changes. Hopefully they keep it free to play friendly somewhat. Hopefully we're still able to unlock a decent amount of characters if you are a free to play player. We're gonna have to see how it turns out. It's very interesting changes. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Again, it's not like the worst thing to have ever happen to Disney Speedstorm, but it is a sign that the game is slowing down, or at least that in its first 2 years of development, the team was definitely, overproducing racers, and it's just not something that's feasible to keep up with anymore going forward, which is understandable. Honestly, the amount of racers that we have in Disney Speedstorm is insane. Like, I think currently in game there's 88 racers, which is just absurd. We're gonna hit 100 sometime in the next few months. I think sometime this year, which is just absurd. And honestly, this, like, out of racing games, this game has one of the biggest rosters I've ever seen. On top of that, every character has unique skins. Most of them have voice lines, animations, abilities. It's awesome. And another, positive aspect to this change is the fact that now 3 racer seasons can happen. So previously, franchises that did not have enough racers to, have a full feasible season can now have one, which I think is awesome. 3 racer seasons, definitely increases the possibility of franchises, which is good, because I think the amount of popular franchises that had 4 characters that would make sense of as a racer were definitely slimming down. So this really opens things up again for, smaller cast of characters, still having a full featured season and a featured track, which I think is awesome. And I'm very excited for the future of Disney Speedstorm. Obviously, this isn't the best change in the world, but I think this is, consistent content that we can expect for a while. I think the fact that they are making the change to go down to 3 racers is a sign that they want to keep the game going, and they're just going to have to do so at a slower pace. So, very optimistic for the future of Disney Speedstorm, even though this isn't the most positive change in the world. Again, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.